ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ ਆਦਿ ਸਚ ਜੁਗਾਦਿ ਸਚ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਸਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਵੀ ਸਚ ਏਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ ਆਦਿ ਸਚ ਜੁਗਾਦਿ ਸਚ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਸਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਵੀ ਸਚ ਏਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ ਆਦਿ ਸਚ ਜੁਗਾਦਿ ਸਚ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਸਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਵੀ ਸਚ ਏਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ ਆਦਿ ਸਚ ਜੁਗਾਦਿ ਸਚ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਸਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਵੀ ਸਚ ਏਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ ਆਦਿ ਸਚ ਜੁਗਾਦਿ ਸਚ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਸਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਵੀ ਸਚ ਏਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ ਆਦਿ ਸਚ ਜੁਗਾਦਿ ਸਚ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਸਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਵੀ ਸਚ ਏਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ ਆਦਿ ਸਚ ਜੁਗਾਦਿ ਸਚ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਸਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਵੀ ਸਚ ਏਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ ਆਦਿ ਸਚ ਜੁਗਾਦਿ ਸਚ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਸਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਵੀ ਸਚ ਏਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ ਆਦਿ ਸਚ ਜੁਗਾਦਿ ਸਚ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਸਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਵੀ ਸਚ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ Thank you to everyone that's come. So last week we had a little thing behind me doing a sakhi for Baba Deep Singh about Baba Deep Singh ji. We discussed how you can take inspiration from Baba Deep Singh ji's Jivan. So this week we had Hasdev Singh. You said you were going to bring a sakhi, no? So Hasdev Singh said he's going to bring a sakhi for us. I'm going to hand it over to him. Come here. So Hasdev Singh is going to bring a sakhi for us. Who's the sakhi about? Okay. Nice and loud for everyone. Yeah?
Tundas Raja was a great warrior who fought in many battles and freed his father. Tunda means crippled, and As was his name. Raja means king. So Asraja was his commonly known name. He was the son of King Sarang and the first son of the eldest queen, which meant he was the heir to the throne. When he was born, his father spoke with the sadhus and yogis and said that I want my son to be very dharmic and very great in Vaishnav. And the yogis said that for the first 20 years of his life, no one will meet him. Only he is a star, he will teach him about the scriptures and how to fight in battle. The next 12 years will be to implement the training. Then he will have to go and read the scriptures. Then he will actually hold the sword and practice the skills that he was taught. After 24 years, he returned back to his kingdom, and he went and when he went into the court, he went and touched the feet of his father, just like the quality he was taught. After that, the king had many wives. When he met the youngest wife had lost her eye towards the stars. But Siraj said that, no, you are like my mother. And when the youngest king thought that he will go and tell Saddam what happened, he thought that he would be famous Siraj. So what he does, he rips her clothes and scratches her own face, and starts screaming. When King Saddam walks in, he said, "Who did this to you?" And the youngest king said that Siraj did this. And King Saddam thought that he's such a great heir to the throne. How could he have done this? But he fell into the talk of the king. He was given a punishment that he will be put in jail for a while. After that, he will be banished away from the kingdom. He will not be the heir to the throne. When he was in jail, Sultan and Khan, who were Siraj's stepbrothers, also had greed for the throne. And they thought that if Siraj was around, they would get the throne. So they went to the prison where he was, and they cut his hand and threw him in a well. Siraj, with his other hand, held onto a bucket that was in the well, but Sultan and Khan thought he was dead and went back to the kingdom. A group of thirsty merchants passed that well. When they rolled up the bucket to have some water, they brought out Siraj and said that he's crippled. So they bandaged up his hand and put him in some bucket, in some blankets, and took him away on the car. When they got to the nearby kingdom, not the kingdom of Saddam, but a kingdom near that, the clothes washer was outside washing the clothes. The clothes washer requested if he could have Siraj as a helper. The merchants got greedy and sold Siraj clothes washer. The clothes washer, Siraj helped the clothes washer wash the clothes with one of his hands that he had. But in that kingdom, the king fell ill and suddenly died. There was no heir to the throne. So the ministers thought that made a test that they will lock all the doors of all that kingdom. Whoever can open it, while they are locked, will be the next king. And when Siraj and the clothes washer were walking back to the kingdom, they found that it was already locked, so they camped outside. The next morning, when they found that it was still locked, Siraj put the clothes down and tried to push it open. By the will of Wahidullah, the door opened and Siraj was crowned king of that kingdom. And everyone used to praise him and say that he is the greatest king, and whoever went there never went hungry. In the kingdom of Saddam, because they had done such a cruel deed, problems started to happen. Money was delaying and there was no rain. Some people from that Saddam's kingdom went to the Siraj's kingdom, and when they found that it was a great kingdom, they took supplies and went back. When King Saddam went to this great king, he found out that it was his own son who was such a great ruler. Siraj tells King Saddam the true story, and when King Saddam asked to come back to the kingdom, Siraj said that he had some tasks to finish off. So King Saddam went back and Khan and Sultan captured him and threatened him, saying that if you crown Asraj king, then we will kill you. So Asraj goes with his army towards King Sarak's kingdom, and there was a huge battle between Asraj versus Sultan and Khan. Sultan and Khan are great warriors who fight in this battle, but Asraj is victorious. He frees his father and is crowned king of both kingdoms. And the stories about this great warrior spread throughout the kingdom. And a war was sung. The war was this: Pakya Sher Sardur Rai Rana Maru Bajje. Sultan Khan Badasur में विचे रण दे गज्जे. खत लिखे टुंडे असराजे नु बात शाही अज्जे. इक्का सारंग बाप ने दा पर लिखे. फतेह पाए असराज जी शाही पर सके. This war was sung, and one day Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji heard this war, and they said that this warrior who was always living in the Pana of Vajapati, when you sing Asaki War, sing it in this division. So that's why when you hear Asaki War, you will hear War Sloka Nal, Slok Pi Mahalle Pehle Ke Lakshman, Tunde Asraje Ki Sun. That was the story of Tunde Asraje. Why?
Wow, well done, but really, really good. Look, that was a really complex Saki, that was. Not that, I'm not sure how many of us here would have heard about the Saki before in the past, about Tunde Asraja. That the bar that you read at the end, is that different one?
No, it's not part of the redemption.
It's not part of
It was just a word that was sung at the time by other Tajis.
Okay, right, okay.
Some
It-
different tattoos.
What do you learn from
But
their life?
you should always stay in the Pana.
Straight in the part of life, okay. Anyone else from that? Do you learn anything else from that? No? And
Like if you do like a bad deed, like bad things will happen to you.
if you do a bad deed, bad things will happen to you, just like the king that, so the two brothers, what was his name?
Sultan Khan.
Sultan and Khan. They started doing bad stuff in their kingdom, bad stuff started happening, no one wanted to live there. Bad stuff would start happening, you know? Anyone else? What else did you learn from that? What I learned was, so I use this Saki quite a lot when the topic comes up about, you know, what's written in your fate you will get anyway. So whatever's written in your fate, whatever's written in your karma, jo kuch bhi thode karma vich likhya aaya, paise wise, paise, raj, money, rule, power, all that, whatever's written, jo kuch bhi likhya, jidda marzi karoge, whatever happens, you are going to get it. If it's written in your fate, then no matter what happens, you will end up getting that, you know? Even if you just sit in one place and not do nothing. And now that's a bit obviously controversial, where we obviously encourage like youngsters, everyone, that you need to work hard. You do, I'm not saying don't work hard in any way. Main nahi keh raha ki na kaam na karo, mehnat na karo. Aida nahi main keh raha. But look at that, that's a brilliant example, isn't it? He got made disabled, he got chucked out of the kingdom, got made disabled, got defamed. But je ode kismat vich likhya si Raj, he was going to be a Raja and he was going to rule over not just one kingdom. He was going to be a Raja at the end of the day. He still got it at the end of the day. Fir milya, fir bhi ਉਹਨੂੰ ਰਾਜ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਨਾ ਕਿ ਉਹਦੇ ਕਰਮਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ. So that's one thing I take away from that. And in today's day and age, where it's really like hectic, fast-paced, it's all about money, with the living cost crisis thing happening, everyone's struggling for money, all that stuff happening. You're seeing a lot of like depression cases going up, anxiety, stress is going up. But if we lived in Mara's will, like Jason's saying as well, then that you're gonna get that. Whatever's written, you're gonna get anyway. Jo kuch bhi thode kismat vich likhya hai miluga. And so we don't need to stress in that way. We don't need to worry. Just live in Mara's plan and you will get whatever you're destined for. But it doesn't you might not be destined for much. And you might that, but then that's your destiny. That's your karma. And just me and Prabhu were just talking on the way here. He's saying that in his RS studies, religious studies, they're talking, having discussion about evil in the world. If there's evil in the world, if there's God, that famous question, Je Vaheguru hega ya fir dukh kaate hai duniya vich? If there's a God, if there's Vaheguru, why is there so much evil or pain in the world? Well, that's a famous question, it's gonna mention it today in this, in the Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj explains by Mardana Ji. पता लगेगा कि जो दुख and सुख था, that's got not to sound a bit hard, like bad in any way. It's not got nothing to do with Guru, why Guru, because dukh and sukh is all to do with your karma. If in your life the dukh hega, then that's to do with your karma. You can't blame why Guru for that. Maharaj bhi kende hai, dadda dosh na deu. Don't blame Vaheguru, blame your own karma if you are going through pain and stuff like that. But no, that's not to say that Maharaj can't change your karma. Maharaj can, but you need that bharosa, you need that love and bharosa from Maharaj. Now when we talk, let's talk about love and bharosa quickly, and then we'll start on this. Yeah, I listened to Katha last week, and for Katha which they were talking about what love and bharosa is. So preet nale bharosa. Ki o done cheez ek bari, if you get both of them, you need both of them to do bhakti. Yeah, you need love and you need faith. Now, an example that they gave was wicked. They said that your children, you'll have love for them, but not necessarily have that faith in them. Bharosa, in that sense, like I can't give 100 quid to my kid, my son, and like say look after it because he's a kid. I can't have that trust in him. I've got love for him, but I haven't got trust that he'll be able to look after that money, and not like get it lost or anything like that. And then other example they gave was sometimes you'll have bharosa there but not love. So the example they gave is your servant. So up in India or whatever, if you've got servant, you might have enough faith in that servant. Okay, look, I saw a Honda, go and deposit it, go and put it in the bank, or go and put £1,000 in the bank. You'll have that bharosa, but you've not got love for him really, But when it comes to bhakti, bhagats jehde bhagat hunde they've got love and they've got bharosa. And that's when Maharaj has to look after you then. That makes sense, yeah? So thank you so much both for bringing that. That was amazing. That was really good. Something really different as well, in that sense. So who would like to bring the saki for next week? Anyone want to volunteer? I seen his hand went up first. You want to bring one next week, yeah? All right. When is their class back on? The boxing, Marke Bapis Gurdwara?
End of March, he said.
Okay, it's not next week, so okay. We'll give it to permission. Yeah? Too late next week, yeah? Bring the saki for next week then. So he'll bring the saki for next week. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dev Singh, for that. Really, really beautiful that was. Thank you. Let's move on to Dhan Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj Jivan. See where Maharaj is going to take us today. So, quick recap from last week. Pichle hafte, Dhan Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj with Bhai Balaji, Bhai Mardana Ji, their friends, travelling. They met Bhagat Prahlad Ji. Bhagat Prahlad Ji, their whole Jivan Katha, they explain everything to Maharaj, to Guru Sahib Ji, Bhai Balaji. And from there they set off, they continue on their journey. And as they're continuing on their journey, they're going towards a certain direction. Bhai Mardana Ji go, ki tare kithe gaye, where all the stars were. Maharaj goes, look, there's only one star that's shining, and that star that's shining is Bhagat Dhruv Bhagat. And who are they? Then Guru Sahib will start explaining that, but they also get mentioned in Gurbani. Bhagat Kabir Ji say Ram Japo Ji aise through Prahlad. So they talk about Bhagat Dhruv Ji and Bhagat Prahlad Ji Jape Ohar Jaise. So like them, if you want to do Simran, Uda Simran karo jidda Dhruv Bhagat ne kita si and Bhagat Prahlad Ji ne kita si. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj begin, they say that Dhruv Bhagat from childhood would do Simran all the time. But Simran karan lage, why did they start doing Simran? What was the reason? Ki Bhakti shuru kita kiti ona ne, how did they start the Bhakti? That's what we're going to learn today. And so Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj started off saying that in Satyug there was a king, and that king had two sons. One of his wives' name was Satrupa, and that's where I left it last week. So let's continue on the journey and see where Maharaj is going to take us. Let's do Ustat of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, and we'll continue. ज्ञान ध्यान किछ कर्म न जाना सार न जाना तेरी सब ते वड्डा सतगुरु नानक जिन कल राखी मेरी सब ते वड्डा सतगुरु नानक जिन कल राखी मेरी. So Guru Sahib Ji Kende, there was a king at that time that had a huge kingdom and he had two wives. Now the king came under the control of one of the wives. The other wife's name was Sunita, but he didn't have any love for her. Dhruv was born from Sunita's womb. When Dhruv became 5 years old, 5 saal da siga Dhruv. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj are explaining this all to Bhai Balaji and Bhai Mardana Ji. Guru Sahib Ji kende ki Dhruv 5 saal da si. One day he came into the place where his father was. So in the palace, in the court, in his court, and with excitement, Jadinal he sat on his father's lap. He was excited, really happy to be sitting there, as children would be. जो बच्चा हुंदा है जो आपदे पिताजी दी गोद विच जाके बहंदा है वो आनंद वखरा हुंदा है उन्हां लई. It's different. So he was really excited that I'm sitting in my father's lap. And the reason why they're emphasizing on this point, इत्थे जानबूझ के महाराज इत्थे भी Kavi Santosh Singh ji are writing in this way as well, that he was really excited. बहुत खुशी थी उन्होंने कि मैं आपके पिताजी दे गोद विच बैठा हां. I'm sitting in my father's lap. Then what happened was his other wife came into the court at that time. उसी वेले ओदी दूजी घर वाली वो आई रानी जेडी सीगी. Seeing Dhruv sitting there, she became very angry. उन्हें गुस्सा बहुत आया. She got so angry because it's not her son. ओदा बच्चा नहीं हैगा. क्योंकि ओदा बच्चा नहीं हैगा उन्हें बहुत गुस्सा आया. वो जाके she grabbed Bhagat Dhruv from his father's lap and she threw him across the room. And then she said that you have no right to sit in your father's lap. तू बैठ नहीं सकदा इत्थे. तेरे कोई हक नहीं हैगा तेरे इत्थे बैठने दा. If you have a desire to take your father's Raj, जे तू राज करना चाहता है, then what you need to do is you need to go into the jungle and you need to do penance. तेनू तप करना पैना है. You need to do bhakti. You need to become a tyagi. She's trying to put him off. एक किस्म दा what she's trying to do is जान बुझ के ऐदा कह रही है कि तेनू त्यागी बनना पैना. You have to त्याग everything. And saying that to a 5-year-old you have to leave everything is something that will put a 5-year-old off, है ना. कि 5 साल दा बच्चा सुन के कि छड़ पर मैं नहीं हासिल करना. I don't want to be a त्यागी. मैं सारा कुछ त्याग नहीं कर सकता. I don't want to be a त्यागी. I don't want to त्याग everything. I don't want to give up everything. If you then she said if you had taken birth from my womb, then you could have become king. फिर तू राजा बन सकता सी जे मैं तू मेरी कुख तो जन्म जे लिया हुंदा. She said this all with anger. क्रोध दे विच उन्हें आके किया. Bhagat Dhruv ji सुन के रोन लगे. They started crying as a 5-year-old would, because they had that excitement, that ja anand, that they were sitting in their father's lap. गोद विच बैठे सी. एकदम आके उन्हें सिट्टिया परे. And then फिर वो रोन लग गया Bhagat Dhruv ji. 5 साल दा सीगा. Bhagat Dhruv ji started to cry. The Raja was under her control, so he didn't say anything to defend his son. वो पूरा वो वस विच सीगा ओदे रानी विच. He was proper under the control of his wife, and that is what more does. Guru Sahib ji बार warn us about the Panch Jod. One of the Panch Jod is more attachment. When you get attached to something so much that you forget everything else, you forget what's right or wrong, you forget about Guru Sahib, you forget to do Simran, you forget what you're truly sent here for when you start getting attached. And that's not just getting attached to one person. Don't think that more you only get attached to one person. Attachment can be to anything. That attachment is that more is something that takes you away from Guru Sahib Ji. That takes you away from what truly matters, what you're sent down to earth for. You've come down to this earth to do bhakti, to do simran, to remember Vaheguru all the time. But what we're attached to in this world is we're attached to what will people think, what what the world thinks about us, what social media is doing to us, what the news, TV, listening to songs, seeing certain fashions, eating certain things. These are all attachments, aren't they? It's moa. All these different attachments are taking you away from what truly matters. Bhagati, Simran. And if you get attached to all these things and you forget doing bhagati, then you're just going to get dukh. You have to go through that. And then that's where you can't blame Vaheguru for that. You can't say कि वाहिगुरु ऐदा मैं काते कर रहा ऐदा का थोड़े आप दे कारण तुसी बीज रहे हो आपे बीज आपे ही खाओ हमारे सीधा कहते हैं right every day but we choose to ignore that when we do Japji Sahib part in the morning हमारे कहते आपे बीज आपे ही खाओ you sow what you reap what you sow है ना हमारे कहते so this Raja one of the Panch Chor attachment he's fully under that he's fully under his wife's control. And it makes you forget about everything. Bhagat Ruji ro rahe ne, crying, ronde unhanu gussa aunda hai. They get angry. Yeah. At this moment, jira aha sara samaya, they're not a Bhagat right now. They're not doing Bhagati. Bhagat ajani Bhagati aje shuru nahi kiti onane. So Guru Sahib you're telling us how they became a Bhagat. How did they get into Bhagati in the first place? So Bhagat Ruji ro rahe ne and they get angry, crying out loud, hoke par ke. कि इन्हें आके मेरे पिताजी गोद तो मैंने सिटिया how can she do this दुखी होके he runs back to his mother दुखी होके माँ दे कोल भज्जिया he runs back to his mother seeing her son in this way sad she gets really दुखी उन्हें बहुत दुख लगता as any parent would right when you see your son upset when you see your daughter children upset in any way parents get दुखी as well उन्हें भी दुख मिलता है. But so she gets really dukhi, and she found out what happened. वो पता कर दिया कि होया, and then she started to cry as well. उन्हें भी रोना आ जाता है, वो भी दुखी होके बहुत उदास हो जाती है. She gets really upset. She sat her son in her lap and said, "Putatru, no one gives you sukh and no one gives you dukh. थानू कोई सुख दा दुख नहीं दिंदा. You get that according to your karma." Look at that what I said about the Sakhi that Hardev Singh brought. You will get everything according to your karma. So je tusi change karma bijonge, changa hi miluga thanu. Je maade karma bijonge, maada hi miluga. That's straight up. That's the justice system Maharaj has. It's fair. I think that way is fair, Maharaj isn't evil. That's what we're talking about. Vaheguru themselves aren't evil. It's you, it's us guys that are reading these karma. You're sowing these, so planting these seeds, So Odi Mata kendi ki no one will give you sukh, no one will give you dukh. You get that according to your karma. When good stuff happens in one's life, then they usually start doing pap after this. Every Mata warn kar rahi hai, they're giving Bhagat Guruji a warning here that when good stuff start happening in one's life, jadon thanu sukh milda hai, they usually then start doing pap after this. What she did to you was really bad. And your stepmother, what she did was really bad. But take it that my karma bad because you were born from my womb. कि मेरे कर्म मारे या कि बहु मारे या कि तू मेरे को जन्म लिया. I don't even get the respect a mistress gets. है ना कि मैंने किया कि जिहड़ा दासी हुंदी आ ਜਾਂ ਨੌਕਰਾਨੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਸਤਕਾਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਸਤਕਾਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ because the Raja is fully under that woman's control ਦੂਜੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਉਹਦੇ ਕੰਟਰੋਲ 'ਚ ਆਇਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਆ and he doesn't care about the other one at all. If you have the desire to do Raj like your father, then do Simran for Bhagati, do Bhagati and serve Vaheguru. Brahma also did the same. Your grandfather Manu Raja did a lot of Simran and he got a lot of sukh. Unus bahut sukh milya. And in the end, he became one with Vaheguru. So go into the charan of Vaheguru and do Simran. Simran kar jinna kar sakda hai. You will get fal for this. Listening to his mother, he found the strength to leave the city where his father was the Raja from. So he got the strength as a 5-year-old, Bal Avastha vich, but he decided to leave the place. ਉਹਨੂੰ ਇੰਨਾ ਦੁੱਖ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਉਹਨੇ ਕੀ ਉਹਨੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਦੀ the stepmother ਮਤਰੀ ਮਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਕੀ ਕਹਿ ਗਈ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਇੰਨਾ ਦੁੱਖ ਲੱਗਿਆ listening to his mother he left the city and to go into the jungles. When he was walking in the jungle, Narad Muni, you remember Narad Muni, everyone? Narad Muni, remember that mystic musician who told who saved Bhagat Prahlada's mother from getting kidnapped? है ना ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਦੀ ਮਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਚੱਕ ਕੇ ਲੈ ਗਏ ਸੀ ਭਗਤ ਪ੍ਰਹਲਾਦ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਮਾਂ ਨੂੰ when she was pregnant with ਭਗਤ ਪ੍ਰਹਲਾਦ ਜੀ ਉਹ ਚੱਕ ਕੇ ਲੈ ਗਏ ਸੀਗੇ and then it was Narad Muni who saved her, है ना? Through Bhagat met Narad Muni on the way. Narad Muni asks through Bhagat ki like to ithe ki aap you're on your own, you're just a bal avastha, you're just a bachcha hai, tu ithe kalla kidda firda hai, what you doing here? Bhagat Dhruv ji sara kuch das diya. Narad Muni then put his hand on his head and gave him a lot of blessings kyunki wo ek Bhagat siga aap, because he did a lot of Simran himself. He's saying that you're a child. Whatever your stepmom said to you, you have taken to heart. कि जो कुछ भी तैं कि जो कुछ भी तेरी मतरेई मां ने किया तेनू, जो भी तेनू उते दिल नू ला ली गल दुख नाल बहुत, you've got a lot of dukh now, you've taken that to heart. Narad Muni then said that you're still young. ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਖਾਣ ਪੀਣ ਦਾ ਸਮਾਂ ਆ ਹੁਣ. This is the age to eat, drink and play. Why? How come you've left all that and you have this desire to meet Vaheguru? Listen to what happens when you start to do bhakti. ਜਦੋਂ bhakti ਅਗਲਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਆ, when you get gyan of Vaheguru, when you get knowledge of Vaheguru, then friend and enemy is the same. There's no difference. There's no difference. ਕੋਈ ਫਰਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਦੁਸ਼ਮਣ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਂ ਮਿੱਤਰ ਵਿੱਚ. ਕੋਈ ਫਰਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ. ਜਦੋਂ bhakti ਜਦੋਂ ਅਗਲਾ ਕਰਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਗਿਆਨ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਆ, ਫਿਰ ਕੋਈ ਫਰਕ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ, because you see everyone as the same. You see Vaheguru's light in everyone. If you do bhakti to get revenge, then all your tap is going to go to waste. जितना भी tap तू करेगा, then badla lena hai from your matrai ma, from your stepmother, you want to take badla, or you want to do Raj like your father is doing Raj, and you want to take over the kingdom, then all the tap that you're doing is going to go to waste. So do this. Tu meri gal man, go back to your house. Stay content within your house. Tu santokh vich reh ki this is your kismat. ਇਹ ਤੇਰੀ ਕਿਸਮਤ ਹੈ, ਇਹ ਤੇਰੇ ਕਰਮ ਆ. There's nothing in the jungles. ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਜੰਗਲਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ, ਤੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ ਨਾ ਰਹਿ. Forget it. Whatever your mother has told you, it's a hard path to walk on. ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਕਠਿਨ ਰਾਹ ਆ. Loads of rishis and munis have tried to do what you're about to do. ਕਿੰਨਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਭਗਤੀ ਕਰਨੀ, ਤਪ ਕਰਨਾ ਜੰਗਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿ ਕੇ. ਕਿੰਨਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਆ, but they have all failed. Only certain handful of people have made it through. But you're still young. तू तो अजे बाल अवस्था में जा, you're still a child. Go back. When you get big, जो तू बड़ा होगा, जवान हो जाऊंगा तू, then you can take over your father's Raj. फिर तू राज करनी, जरा राज करना है. Dhruv Bhagat then said, look, whatever you're saying is true. जो तुसी कह रहे हो सच्चा, है ना, मानते हैं ਅਸੀਂ. I haven't got the gyan. I'm just a child. मैं तो जब बच्चा आया. And whatever my stepmom said, I'm getting really dukhi about that. ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਦੁੱਖ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਜੋ ਮੇਰੀ ਮਤਰੀ ਮਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ. Whatever my stepmother said, I don't feel like going back home. ਮੇਰਾ ਜੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਵਾਪਸ ਜਾਵਾਂ ਘਰ. You go everywhere and you meet different types of people. ਨਾਰਦ ਮੁਨੀ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੋ, ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਲੋਕ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਹੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ. Look, what I want to do, I wish to walk on the same path as my grandfather. My grandfather did bhakti, he did Simran, and he became one with Vaheguru. Please help me walk on this path. Narad Muni then got happy and said, I was doing your park. Main teri park kar raha siga. I was testing you. I can see that you have this desire to do bhakti. Your desire to do bhakti is very strong. Whatever your mom has told you is true. If you do bhakti, you will get Raj. You can get Raj. If you do bhakti, but you will also get mukti as well. Ki mukti bhi प्राप्त होगी तेनु जे तू bhakti simran करेगा. She has told you to go on a good path to follow. She told you to follow a good path. So do seva, do bhakti of Vaheguru. Go into his sharan of Vaheguru, and then you will get whatever you want. Kuch bhi mil sakta tenu fir. Focus on your abhyas. Focus on that Vaheguru. I will give you a mantra. मैं तेनू एक मंत्र दवांगा, and थोड़े महीनों दे विच 9 महीनों दे विच तेनू सारा कुछ मिल जूगा. if I after you do that mantra, after you do that mantra, Siddh da matlab hunda ki with strictness, with being strict, do that mantra, whatever mantra that you've been given, and you'll be able to bring your mind into control then. Jira manna fir you man vas vich kar sakda hai. People after hearing this, sometimes you might say that, yeah, look, we've got my mind, I have got my mind in my control. Mera man mein aapne vas vich kita hoya hai. But the truth is, whoever controls their mind is a true Bhagat or Mahapurusha. We haven't got our minds in control. If it was in control, then we wouldn't be sitting here, to be honest. And we wouldn't be sitting here to try and get this gyan, all this gyan, because we have that gyan. Galta ithi muk diya. When you get your senses in control, when you get your mind in control, bas gal uthi muk jandi hai fir. Because then you realize that you're not you. Tusi aap nahi hege. Your Vaheguru is doing everything. Vaheguru is just doing everything through you. That you're not you. This is just a play in it. But where we start going wrong is where we think where we think we're in control, but whereas we're really not in control, where I talk about the desires, Vishivikar, all these Vishivikar, all these desires are what's controlling your mind. मैं भी बच्चे ही हाँ ऐसा ना कोई सोचे कि ये बड़ी बढ़िया गल्ला करता बढ़िया बढ़िया कि मैं he is probably got it in control. I haven't got anything in control है ना मेरे मन में I haven't got anything in control. मैं भी बच्चे आ जाता है इधर बच्चे यार. So bringing your mind into control. For us, Guru Sahib ji have blessed us with the Gur mantra. और नारद मुनि ने मंत्र दिता सी. It was a long mantra that I couldn't understand, but the Katha was saying, Gyani Kirpal Singh ji was saying the mantra. And I was trying to listen to it bar, but the recording wasn't that clear, so I don't want to say it wrong. But it's about 2 lines, this mantra is. So like the Mool mantra, yeah? Narad Muni Dildaya. For us, Tan Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj have given us the Vaheguru mantra. We don't have to go into the jungles. Sanu thodi junglan mein jaake lod a jaan ji. Ja karbar chhad ke chal ji asi. Maharaj have given us such an easy path to follow. We're so lucky in that sense. We should thank Maharaj every day, 3 times a day. Maharaj have given us this beautiful path of Sikhi. Maharaj has granted, and we take it for granted. So that's the thing. If someone asks you what faith are you, what do I'm a Sikh. We easily say it. But what does it truly mean to be a Sikh? It doesn't mean that you just come to the Gurdwara, you put a bit of put money in the bowl, do matha take, have a bit of langar, and go home. No, that's not what Sikhi is. That's not what being a Sikh is. Being a Sikh, we probably might be far from what being a Sikh is, and we should strive. We should try our absolute best to be a true Sikh. What is Guru Sahib Ji telling us? Bar, Maharaj is telling us time and time again. Ki do bhagati, simran karo. Focus on simran. Focus on simran. And I say that every week. And I har ek hafte kehna hai. Ki simran karo, Maharaj tells us to do simran as well. And again, like I'm saying, I'm in the same boat. Ki kite main karta hai nahi. That's why I'm not sure if anyone does it or not. But that's not having that same asar, because I'm in the same boat as well. But we are really lucky that Maharaj have given us such an easy path. Now this path though, we've had this discussion with Guru Sikhs in the past, yeah? Ki jira marga, Sikhi da marg, jira, it can be as easy as you want to make it, or it can be hard as you want to make it. The people that find it hard are usually the people that want to make the world happy. ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੰਦਾ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਨੂੰ ਖੁਸ਼ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਔਖਾ ਲੱਗੂਗਾ to walk in the path. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਔਖਾ ਲੱਗੂ ਕੇਸ ਰੱਖਣ ਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਕੇਸ ਸਾਤੋਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਰੱਖ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਕਿ ਅਗਲਾ ਕੀ ਕਹੂਗਾ what the ਦੁਨੀਆ see of me ਜਾਂ ਔਖਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੇਸ ਰੱਖ ਹੁੰਦੇ so they're not going to keep their case or they're not going to take ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਕਿ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਛਕਣਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਰਹਿਤ ਔਖੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਣੀ ਹੈ ਰੱਖਣੀ ਮਰਿਆਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਫੋਲੋ ਕਰ ਹੋਣੀ all that stuff. ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮਹਾਪੁਰਖ ਭਗਤ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮਹਾਪੁਰਖ ਨੇ ਉਹਦੀ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਕਲਾ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਸ਼ਹੀਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ask them. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛ ਕੇ ਦੇਖੋ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮਾਰਗਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜਾ which you lot find hard ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ what will they say ਇਹ ਚ ਆਨੰਦ ਹੀ ਆਨੰਦ ਆ there's nothing but ਆਨੰਦ there's nothing but ਆਨੰਦ on this path of Sikhi where the thing is that gunga ਜਿਹੜਾ example ਹੈ ਨਾ where a gunga mute person telling you how sweet a laddu is they can't ਏਦਾਂ ਹੀ a Gursikh can't tell you how beautiful this path is. You just have to experience it, and that's the beauty of Sikhi, है ना? And this, I was trying to send it in the group, but I wasn't sending in the group of in the Friday Night Sikhi group. I came across this like little thing on Instagram or whatever you call it, but it's AI, artificial intelligence, and Sikhi. Yeah, so because recently it just got sent out in the group, right, where someone tried to make this artificial intelligence thing where you ask it questions. But what they said that Sikhi is not about artificial intelligence. Sikhi is about experiencing it yourself. No artificial intelligence can bring the Bairag out in you. Another Bairag, that connection that you have with Guru Sahib Ji. And it was really beautiful because there was Mahapur, Sant Indrajit Singh Rakbe Ali, they're doing Katha and they start crying. Artificial intelligence won't be able to make you do that. AI can't make you do that. Bhai Jagraj Singh Ji, basics of Sikhi, are doing Katha and they break out crying. Ki assi kithe firde hain? Maharaj has blessed us with so much. What are we doing? And they start crying. Artificial intelligence can't do that. Ajira computer da jo gaj, wo nahi ho sakta. You have to experience Sikhi yourself. But they say that I will give you a mantra, bring your mind into control. We don't have to. So Narad Muni continues. Bhagat Ruji listened to all of what Narad Muni said. Through Bhagat then did namaskar to Narad Muni and he went into the jungles and started to do his tapa. Narad Muni on the other hand, Ogi Karda, he went to Dhruv Bhagat's father. Kingdom in the kingdom, his father was so upset that his son had left and in sadness he was sitting there. उदास होके बैठा सीगा राजा कि मैं तो कुछ कर नहीं होया. राजा saw नारद मुनि. राजा ने देखा नारद मुनि आया अंदर and he gave respect. He did namaskar on his charan. Then Narad Muni asks कि थोनू की हो गया राजा, तू इतना उदास काते हैं? Why are you so upset? The Raja then said, Hey Narad Muni ji, I am stuck in the web of Kam. I am stuck in the web of desires and my wife has me in control. One thing to note here is that Elise is admitting everything, and Elise is not being fake here. He goes, this is my bimari, and I've said this before as well. In front of your guru, if you're going through any sort of issue, when Panch Jor are affecting you, if any of the Panch Jor are affecting you, any Vishavakar, any desires are affecting you, go in front of your guru and tell your guru sahib your bimariyan. Just like we go in front of a doctor and we tell the doctor ki aha meri bimari hai, the doctor will give you say ilaj. Edai Guru Sahib ji aage chal jo. Look, I've done it myself so many times. The Panch Jor affect each and every one of us. Panch Jor will try and affect Mahapurukhs as well. The only difference is Mahapurukhs control it, whereas we give into it. Like I said, I'm in the same boat. Panch Jor affect me also as well. Whenever I've had that issue, just go in front of Maharaj and like your friend, say to Maharaj, Maharaj, I'm going through this problem. Maharaj, I've got this bimari. Maharaj ko ilaj karo tusi. You're the biggest doctor of all. Mera bhai Guru Govinda. You're the biggest doctor there is. So that's one thing. Look, he admits it to Narad Muni, this Bhagat. I'm stuck in the web of Kam, lust. I'm stuck in the web of desires, and my wife has got me in control. And the Raja said that I had my son with my first wife, and for no reason whatsoever I left her. Mainu Sharta. And he's gone into the jungle now. My 5-year-old son, he must be hungry and tired. How will he survive in the jungle? Animals will eat him. Narad Muni then said, Hey Raja, don't worry about your son. Tori fikr na kar. Permission is everywhere. Vaheguru is everywhere. He's doing strict penance. Oh kathan tapasya kar raha hai is vele. And he will come back soon. Oh murke fir auga. The whole world will praise him. Narad Muni then went away. Dhruv Bhagat carried on doing bhakti, eating fruit that he could find. Jera bhi phal fruit milda siga, oh shaklanda hunda siga. He spends 1 month in this way, eating phal fruit but doing bhakti. Now the second month, he finds like raw sabjiyan, and then he eats them. In the third month, he starts to eat dried leaves. He only eats after the 9th day of bhakti. So lagatar bhakti kar raha hai, 9वें दिन आके फिर को शक आया. He eats something then. He doesn't eat anything otherwise. He drinking little water, thoda pani pींदा है. In the 4th month, he carries on doing bhakti in this way, living in this way. The 5th month also comes. Slowly, he gets to a point where they are only having water to stay alive. If you read the book, say Kanhaiya, Sant Baba Harnam Singh Ji Rampur Khede Wale, Gurbani ਵਿੱਚ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਆ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮਹਾਪੁਰਖ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ, old sons, Gursikhs can live off just Vaheguru's naam. That's all they need. Vaheguru da naam, sirf asra ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ. They don't need anything else. Sant Baba Harnam Singh Ji wanted to put that to the test. In a way, they're not testing Maharaj in any way. They wanted to prove to the world that's true. So ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੀ ਕੀਤਾ, they went into a room, into like a mud hut, went into a mud hut, shut the door, they said ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ disturb ਨਾ ਕਰੇ ਹੁਣ for 1 month. ਇੱਕ ਮਹੀਨਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ 40 ਦਿਨ ਲਈ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ disturb ਕਰੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ. And they started doing bhakti, they started doing simran. People got worried. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਚੇਲੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸ਼ਰਧਾਲੂ ਸੇਵਕ ਸੀਗੇ, they started getting worried, but ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਡਰ ਵੀ ਲੱਗੇ ਕਿ ਦਰਵਾਜ਼ਾ ਨਾ ਖੋਲੀਏ, so they put their ear against the door to see if everything's okay. But after the 40th day, Sant Baba Harnam Singh Ji ਬਾਹਰ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਆ, ਨਾ ਪਾਣੀ ਨਾ ਖਾਣਾ, and they're glowing more than ever. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਮੁਖ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਲਾਲੀ ਐਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਆ ਗਈ where they don't need anything. And they're standing on one foot doing penance, doing tapasya, and he won over his senses. He wins over his senses, and the Panj Chor have no effect on him no more. Or they don't have no effect, and that full focus on Vaheguru. A time came where there was earthquakes everywhere, people dying and getting scared. The Devi Devte do ardas to Vaheguru saying, save everyone. Ki ho raha hai duniya utte? Ki duniya utte ki ho raha hai? Vaheguru then says back that there is a Balak Bhagat of mine who is doing Bhakti right now. Jira Balak bachcha hai Bhakti kar raha hai. We will go to him. Sama aa gaya, the time has come for me to go and give darshan to Dhruv Bhagat. The Devte then went away after hearing this to their realms. Then Vaheguru came in front of Dhruv Bhagat. Vaheguru did darshan hoye. Dhruv Bhagat then opened his eyes. After doing darshan of Vaheguru, he did Dindor. Dindor is when you lie in front of Vaheguru. Doing darshan of Vaheguru, he wishes to hug Vaheguru. ਉਹਦਾ ਜੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਗੱਲ ਵਕੜੀ ਚ ਲੈ ਲਵਾਂ, ਮੈਂ ਜੱਫੀ ਪਾਵਾਂ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਨੂੰ. What? Because he's a 5-year-old, है ना? 5 ਸਾਲ ਦਾ ਬੱਚਾ ਆ. He doesn't know how to ustat. ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਉਸਤਤ ਮੈਂ how shall I praise ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ. ਉਹਦਾ ਜੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਗੱਲ ਵਕੜੀ ਚ ਲੈ ਲਵਾਂ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਨੂੰ. He's folding his hands and he's doing matha take to Vaheguru. Vaheguru does immense kirpa on Dhruv Bhagat. A lot of prem comes within Dhruv Bhagat. There's only love within Dhruv Bhagat now. Maharaj fills him with prema bhakti, the highest form of bhakti that you can do. Dhruv Bhagat then said, I have understood that whoever doesn't do Simran, they go nark, or narkanu jande. And look, I've said this time and time again, when these sort of messages come in this, when there's a Mahapurk, a Bhagat, saying these statements, giving these statements, they apply to each and every one of us. Saran wathe gal tokdiya, apply it to your own lives. Let's imagine that Baba Guruji are talking to you and they're saying ki look, je tusi simran nahi karde narka nu jaoge ho tusi, you will get a lot of dukh in your jeevan. Those that do simran get only sukh, ਉਹਨਾਂ sukhi milda hai, and jamdoots, the messengers of death, don't go near them. They also save people around them. Look, ਆਪ ਤਾਂ ਬਚ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ, ਆਪ ਤਾਂ ਮੁਕਤੀ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ, ਪਰ ਇੰਨਾ ਪਰਉਪਕਾਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ that they save people around them as well, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮਹਾਂਪੁਰਖ ਭਗਤ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ. Please bless me with this type of sangat. Look at that, look what he's asking for. Bhagat Guruji are saying to Vaheguru, he bless me with this type of sangat, that type of sangat that does simran, that focuses on doing simran. You can do anything. Please bless me. We can't understand how you work, Maharaj. Sanu nahi samjh hegi. Vaheguru get really happy. Hey Rajada Puttar, Maharaj says, Vaheguru speaks, and they say, Hey Rajada Puttar, I know what's going on in your mind. What's going on in your mind? तेरे मन विच की चल रहा है मैनू सानू पता है. The highest status that you can gain, तू ले ला वो. That highest status ब्रह्म ज्ञानता, prema bhakti. Take it. No Devi Devte dance have ever got to this level. Everyone will do your karma. तेरी उस्तत कर देंगे सारे जाने. What's going to happen is that one day your father will go to the jungle to do tap. उन्हें जाके तप करना है. He will go and do penance in the jungle. He will then give you all the Raj that you so desired. You will then do Raj for a long time. Your stepbrother will die while doing shikar. Animals will eat him. His mother, so your stepmother, will go to the jungle to find him, and then she's going to get burnt alive in a jungle fire. You will then have all that Raj. Then that's your mokka, your opportunity to do proper Tarmi Raj. Tarmi Raj hunda ki taram de naal chalna. Raje ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਜੇ ਧਰਮ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਚੱਲਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ, their kingdoms have always been successful. For example, Maharaja Ranjit Singh, yeah, they've always had Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj at the forefront. Whenever they made any sort of decision, taking advice from Mahapurukhs, taking advice from people like Baba Beer Singh in Rangabad Ale, Akali Fulla Singh, them kind of people. But look at the Raj Maharaja Ranjit Singh had. This is just an example. Vaheguru say that you will have all that Raj, then you do proper Dharmi Raj. What happens next after this? We'll have to wait till next week to find out. We'll leave it there. So Vaheguru is having this conversation with Dhruv Bhagat. A conversation ho rahi hai Dhruv Bhagat naal, and Dhruv Bhagat Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj are telling Bhai Mardana Ji, Bhai Bala Ji this whole Sakhi. Ek tarah di Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj sanu Sakhi suna rahe ne. Think of it like that, and you get more Anand in that way. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj are giving a Sakhi time, if you want to think of it like that. Yeah. So we'll leave that there. We'll continue that next week. Moving on to question answers. If anyone's got any questions to do with the Sakhi that Hardev Singh brought, to do with this, or generally to do with Sikhi in any way, has anyone got any questions in their mind that we can discuss as a group? If not, then let's call it a day. Let's do Simran as a Sangat form. We'll do stuff Guru Sahib Ji, and then we'll call it a day. So, if I made any mistakes, guys, please forgive me. I'm only learning like everyone else is. Thank you so much for coming, giving me the opportunity to share it. Now we've got like quite a new faces coming every week, so hopefully they're enjoying it. They're taking something away from this in a positive way, and it's affecting their jivan, because that's what this is all about. So coming every week, giving me the opportunity to do this, I thank everyone so much, because I promise you, especially for the new people, that it comes to a point throughout the week where I might struggle to do this. I don't feel like doing it because it's hard to listen to the Katha and doing it all. But when it comes to this moment, Friday, it's amazing. Especially this moment, I look forward to doing the Simran. There Simran ho kathe beh ke si Simran karde ha na, anand vakra hi hunda hai. The amount of kirpa that we get in this way, just for this couple of minutes of doing Simran, we don't know how far this is going to go. We don't know how much kirpa that's going to happen just in this few moments that we do Simran. And also, not just finishing there, when we do Ostat of Guru Sahib Ji, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, Bhai Mardana Ji, Bhai Bala Ji, what do they say? Kavi Santokh Singh Ji ki kende ne, ki likhde ne, ki just saying the name of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, kinne paap thode to ho jande hain. Your loads of sins get washed away just by saying Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. That's how powerful our Guru Sahib Ji are. More ki chahiye san, if that our Guru Sahib Ji are like that. So when we do Ostat of Guru Sahib Ji as well, try and focus on the names. The kids doing it really beautifully now. From last week they started it. So I would like all the kids to join in. You lot lead it, and nice and loud when you do it, please, yeah. So and everyone else would follow. After we do the Simran for a little bit, and then we'll call it a day. We'll continue in the same way next week, guys, yeah. So let's do a bit of Simran, and then we'll do a stuff, yeah. Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru. Guru ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ
ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ
ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ
ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ
ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ
ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਿ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ
ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਿ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ